Hey everybody, how you doing? So the 50-year loan has been floated by President Trump, and I finally had a chance to dive into it. So I'm going to break it down for us in this video. Main points of the loan, pros and cons as it pertains to real estate here in New Jersey, and some of my final thoughts. So let's start with some main points just to break it down for us. Number one, it obviously spreads the loan out for over 50 years. So monthly payments are going to be lower compared to a 30-year term. That's going to help buyers qualify for more of a house now. But because the amortization is so long, the early years are heavily interest weighted. So equity is going to take a lot much longer to build in the home. For sellers or for future sellers, slower equity growth means that there's going to be less of an upside if you sell in 10 to 20 years, especially compared to a shorter term loan. For New Jersey specifically, where home prices are high and turnovers like 7 to 10 years or less, a 50-year term might mean you still owe a large principal when you move or you sell. From a community or a market perspective, these longer loans are probably going to keep people in homes for longer, or they're going to change ownership patterns like less turnover. That's going to affect supply, affect demand, affect how we like flip or renovate. Finally, the risk of carrying debt into later life, like retirement, is high. So if you buy in your 30s or 40s on a 50-year term, you might still be paying like well into your 80s. Here's a couple pros and cons that I feel might help us in making a decision. Some pros. This is from a buyer's perspective too. Number one is you're going to have a lower monthly payment, right? More affordability, more flexibility. Excuse me, more flexibility. This is going to potentially allow for more of an expensive purchase or like a home in a stronger area while having the same income. This is also going to ease your cash flow pressure early on. So if you have investments or renovation plans or a variable income like myself, it could help. Cons, much slower equity build. As stated, you're going to own less of the house for a longer period of time. Also, you're going to pay more interest over the life of the loan because a longer term equals more interest. So you might stay in the home longer than you planned, or you might carry debt into retirement. If you decide to move in like 10 to 20 years, you might not realize how much gain or you might owe a lot relative to the value. It could be riskier in a rising rate or an economic downturn scenario. The longer time increases exposure. We may not get into that, but it's a possibility. And for sellers, if many buyers choose these terms, you might have more homes that are held long term, less turnover, which is going to affect market dynamics. So, final thoughts on this? Is it good? Is it bad for ownership in New Jersey? Personally, it's neither purely good or purely bad, but it does introduce a significant shift, and it could be one that comes with trade offs that you just really can't ignore. In New Jersey, typical ownership timeline is like every 7 to 15 years. That's increased too from like the normal 5 to 7 years a few years ago. A lot of sellers are looking to recoup investment, renovate, flip, relocate. So a 50-year mortgage could actually undercut the traditional build equity and sell upgrade model. If fewer people reach a strong equity in 10 to 20 years, it could certainly impact how often homes turn over. This is going to affect how mobility works in the market. On the flip side of that, if the affordability like starts to mount, which in many parts of New Jersey it could, a 50-year term might open doors for buyers who otherwise couldn't enter the market. So the key is just being super strategic. If you choose a 50-year term, you should plan for what happens at 10, 20, or 30 years, how you're going to exit, refinance, or maybe even upgrade. If not, you might lock into something that doesn't serve you as the time changes. So use it cautiously. For buyers who plan to stay 30 to 50 years, this will work for you. For those who intend to move or sell or upgrade in 10 to 20 years, which most of us do, it's likely a weak fit unless you offset it through extra payments, refinancing, or strong appreciation through the year. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope it helped. If you want to have a conversation about this, or if you have any additional questions, let me know. I'm always available, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.